have Jonathan Hilscher from Civic Engagement to present a speaker series for student leaders and also student employees, and open to all students on campus. Today's topic is career management. This is a former student from Alfred State. Her name is Shavonne Noble, and her topic is career management. Looks like she's just joining us, so we're going to get her let her have a few minutes to get situated, and then we'll get going.
Hi, Maureen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Yes.
So technicalities here, it's saying that only meeting organizers can share their screen.
Yeah, and then I made you an attendee. Can you try that again? If not, I can do something on my end, or if you want to send me your presentation, I could share it, and then if you want to talk through it. I don't know why it's different today than Friday, but
Okay, we can do that.
okay.
Hi, so I just sent it to you.
Okay, and I'll share it shortly. So nice to have you here again.
Hi, how is everyone? I know I see a lot of people on mute right now, but
Yeah. Do you remember Elaine? She's obviously, you remember Elaine. She's on here. She's excited to have you.
Hi, Elaine. How are you?
Hello, Shavonne.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. It's good to see you and hear your voice again.
Thank you. So while Maureen is getting my slide up, I would just like to formally introduce myself. My name is Shavonne Noble. I graduated from Alfred State 4 years ago. I was a business management and a business administration major. And then I graduated from, I went on to Alfred University because I did the 4+1, and I got my master's degree in business administration as well. So it's exciting to be back here and to talk to people who were, you know, I was just in you guys' shoes not too long ago. Time flies.
Yeah, it sure does. I remember you as a student worker in our office, so.
Yeah, and I interned with career development for a few years as well.
Yeah, Shavonne did a great job with us, and how she'd like to do today is she has, you know, a short presentation, but she would like questions through the chat. I'll be moderating that, so if a question comes in, but yeah, she would like, if you have questions during her presentation, she is fine with that. You don't have to wait till the end, so to speak, but she would welcome questions at any point.
Yes, please ask questions, and I would like this to be more so interactive than me to just, you know, talk, because this is about career management, and I think it's very important for anybody who's getting out there into the career field and finding their niche. Okay, so are you ready, Marie?
There you go.
Hi, so this is career management. You can move on to the next slide. Okay, how do I do this? Yes, thank you very much. So what is career management? Career management is a process in which employees become aware of their own strengths, weaknesses, interests, or values, and they obtain job information about the opportunities within their companies. Also, they're able to identify career goals, establish action plans to set their personal goals, and formulating strategies to achieve them as well. So when first starting off in a career or a job of your choice, I think it's very important to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And weaknesses are not always a bad thing. It could just be something that you might want to improve on. But when you're going into a job field, you're able to determine what your strengths and weaknesses are depending on your area of expertise. And you can use that to develop throughout your career as well. And also obtaining job information about job opportunities. So if you ever go into a company or a specific job and you hear about different opportunities within the workplace, it's also good to keep track so that when you're working in that particular field, you can have those opportunities put to the side. So a year later, or when you develop more experience, you can apply for those positions as well. And also identify your career goals. Your career goals don't always have to be the same. They can be different. But for me, I had a number of different career goals because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I had so many different areas that I wanted to experience. So I would just write them down. And, as I went and I did my research, I would just check them off, so that I know whether I'm reaching goals. And these can be either long-term or short-term goals as well.
I had a comment. If you can comment on like what your career goals were during college versus, were they similar? Were they way different? I get that question quite a bit. Students are unsure of what they want to do, upon graduation. They're like, I'm not sure what I want to do. And then you comment on where you were at, so to speak, through your college years, and has it been similar or has it been different?
So my career goals have been pretty similar, but they also have changed as well, because I think from me being a freshman all the way up to my senior year, I started learning more. I started getting into different things. So at first I wanted to do like something more human services or a non-for-profit, and then I phased out of that, and then I wanted to do property management. And those changed over time just because I was taking different classes. I started interning in different places and, meeting new people, traveling, and, getting different perspective on things. And then that ties back to identifying your strengths and weaknesses. And I'm just like, I'm more stronger in this area than I am in that area. So it's not an uncommon thing to change your career path or what you want to do, because I think it shows a lot of transparency as well. A lot of us are not just, one track minded. We just want to, do one thing. Is everyone in here like business students, or is it different areas? Different. Okay. So when we have I think for me, because it was my initial degree was business administration, it was very wide range. Yeah, leadership position podcast. Okay. So So I think that with business administration, you can go any kind of way. You can do finance, or you can do a number of different things. Veterinary technology major. Okay. So like I said, there's so many differences. So like if you're a veterinary technology major, that might be what you really like want to do. You know what I mean? But for me, I want to start my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. But once I got to like the last semester, or maybe even a year before I graduated, I started to like double down and realize what I wanted to do in my career. So some objectives of career management is to reduce job attrition, to optimize utilization of resources, uh, to help individuals adapt to change in the work environment, also to attract effective people to an organization, and also to practice a balanced promotion from within the organization, and to maintain a harmonious industrial relationships as well. I think that building relationships is the best thing that I've did, whether it's with a professor or someone you're just in class with, because you never know who knows who, and they could connect you with other people as well to help you advance or to even get to a job opportunity. Because I've noticed within finding jobs, it's not about what you know, it's who you know most of the time. So, and they can put in a good word for you, and then you just make those connections over time. So I do think that relationships are very important in career management. So why is it important in today's work world? It is important that organizations invest more structured career development platforms for their employees to prevent job hopping mentality. And job hopping, I'm pretty sure you guys know, job hopping is just going from one job to another, never staying at the same job for more than 6 months to a year, because you're internally not satisfied. Like, this is not what you want to do, or it's not what it was planned out to be. So you go from one job to another, and you build a little bit rapport there, and then you leave and go somewhere else. And that's been a mentality for a lot of younger generations. And individuals should be able to recognize the opportunities that exist within their organization. So that's why before you even start a job or take a job, it's important to go on LinkedIn, see who's working there. Are their morals the same as yours? Do they treat their employees well? What are the perks of working there? That way, before you even get there, you know what to expect, so you're not going from one job to another. Because I think the worst thing that you can do is have like 30 jobs on your resume. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look like you're able to stay in one place. So I definitely think that it's important to really, really research the company that you want to work for or business. Employees should have an idea of where they would like to go within their careers as well. And that ties back into writing down your career goals and knowing exactly what you want before you just start accepting job positions. And one study conducted by the Bureau of Labor Statistics is individuals in 2012, individuals hold an average of 11.3 jobs between the ages of 18 and 46. That's a lot of jobs to have within the age of 18 and 46, 11.3 jobs. And this was done in 2012, so I could imagine how it is in 2020. So I definitely think that people are not satisfied. I know that older generations, or even my parents, they were able to stay at their companies for a long, 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 long time. And nowadays people are not doing that because the economy is different, and it's kind of easier to find jobs, or odd jobs and gigs. But what we're trying to do here is find careers, places that we can build rapport in and that we can stay at for long periods of time rather than just going from one place to another. And many employees see job hopping as the best opportunity for growth and material gain. Also, it was common for people to end their careers in the same company, but due to the economy and other factors, job changes are more common than they ever were. I put an example down there. I had a job for a year. I loved it, but my interest started to change. So, and I felt like there wasn't really room for growth. So I decided to seek other opportunities. And that would be an example of like job hopping, going from one place to another because there's no room for growth within your workspace. So how do people choose careers? They choose careers off their interests, whatever you're interested in. If you're interested in animals, you want to be a vet. If you're interested in helping people, you want to be a doctor. So it just depends on what your interest is. Some do it for self-image. So you may want a career that boosts your image, that puts you on a certain platform. Also, your career could show within your personality. So if you're more of a creative person, a person that likes to talk, you might want a career that allows you to do so. If you're more of an analytical thinker, you might want to do information technology per se, and also social backgrounds as well is how people choose their careers. So identifying and exploring your career options. So when you identify and explore your career options, you just basically you write down everything. If you have one career that you want to do, maybe you might want to expand on that or come up with 2 or 3 other careers that you would rather do besides, or that you would do if your first career choice didn't happen the way it was supposed to. So my first thing is don't limit yourself to one option. You should make a short list of referred options that would be definitely a useful strategy, because sometimes things don't work out and you might not get a job within your dream employer. So it's always good to have different options. You want to research options related to your degree. That will help you tailor it more so that if you're applying to jobs, you know that this job is specific to your degree or your skill set and interests. Also, research options related to your skill set and interests. Discover emerging career options. Chat to employers. When I was at Alfred, even before it was time for me to graduate, I always attended career fairs. I always wanted to see what was out there. What employers are close to home, who's out there, what do they want? And I used to take their job descriptions and look at it and try to see what their hard skills were, what did they require, what did I need? And that would actually help me throughout my time in college, getting internships and networking. So I would say you don't have to go to everyone like I did, but definitely in order to chat with employers and while you're in school and learning, career fairs are always a good place to start and go, and just to introduce yourself and let people know who you are. And you could think about what's important to you. What do you believe in? What's important to you? Everyone has different criteria that are important to them in making career decisions. So that's something that you should think about on a daily basis. So how to assess your career skills. So you can reflect on your job description. So when you look at the job descriptions, you can see what they require. A lot of jobs require a lot of hard skills, but also they require soft skills as well. And I think soft skills are very important because let's just say it could say you have to have 5+ years of experience in such and such, or you have to be very proficient in Excel and Microsoft Word and all these things. And you can look at it and be like, well, I know how to use Microsoft Word, but I'm not that proficient in Excel. And then you start to narrow it down, and then you say, I'm not applying for this job. But I would say do not do that. Zero in on your soft skills. Your soft skills are, I feel like that's most important, because that's your written communication, that's your open line of communication, that's your empathy, that's talking to people, being positive. Those, your attitude, those matter to me the most, because that's what people will always remember, rather than, oh, you were good at Microsoft Word, So I always say zero in on the soft skills. Also look at your performance reviews. So even now, if any of you guys do jobs on campus, work study, internships, and at the end they give you performance reviews, I would say take a good look at those. Look at the comments. What can you expand on? And take some constructive criticism. I think constructive criticism is good criticism, because it lets me know how to better myself. What can I do better? In whatever areas I was lacking in. And also ask other people for feedback. This could be your friends. This could be your coworkers. These could be your college professors. Like, feedback is always good. So now you know what to do next time, or what to do better, or what you can expel on. You can also take an online behavior test. I know, I'm not sure if you guys heard of like the Myers-Briggs test, personality test, where you answer all these questions and it kind of puts it into categories for you, and shows you like what careers you would do better in because of your skills and how you think and how you solve certain problems. I think it's a very good test to take, because it zeroes in on what you're actually good at, and career areas that you will be good in. You should check out job postings in your industry. Always look at different job postings when you're looking for jobs. Don't just use one job site. Look at everything. See what's out there consistently. Just see what's out there, because it changes, and you might have something that fits your interest as well. So organizations, they aim to attract the top talent. So employers will focus on their efforts on attracting, the best people to their company and what fits their company needs. Job satisfaction as well. So employees who participate in required training courses or work-based development activities during work time, they reported to have higher job satisfaction and commitment. So training and work-based development is always great. And as far as current students, I would say that training and work-based development would be geared towards internships. I think internships are very important. They help you actually work within your field, and you're learning these things, and you can make mistakes in internships, and it doesn't cost you a whole lot that it would cost you when you're in the actual field. And it just gives you that time to grow and to, make mistakes, but also learn over time. So, and they also focus on retaining employees and reducing turnover. So through organizational commitment, career development opportunities help retain employees and thus prevents turnover. It definitely costs less to keep an employee than to keep hiring people over and over and over again. So some roles in career management, the employee's role is to do self-assessment, create a self-development action plan, create visibility through good performance and relationships, seek challenges, always challenge yourself to do better. And the role of the manager is to coach and teach, also to counsel the employees, let them know what they're doing, and also to motivate them to do better, communicating with them, request information from other company resources as well. The role of the company is to develop systems to support career management and to develop culture that supports career management. In HR, for informational purposes, advice, and specialized services such as testings and workshops and things that will help you advance in your career. So the employee's role in career management, Thank you. So the employee's role in career management is to take the initiative to ask for feedback from managers and peers regarding their skills and strengths and weaknesses. They want to identify their stage of career development and needs, to seek challenges by gaining exposure to a range of learning opportunities, interact with employees from different work groups inside and outside the company, and also create visibility through good performance as well. So there's a process within career management that helps employees reach their goals and also implement them. So there's a self-assessment, the reality check, goal setting, and action planning. So the self-assessment identifies opportunities and needs for improvement. The use of information by employees to determine their career interests, values, and behavioral tendencies. So when you go back to the Myers-Briggs test, this is a personality traits test, and the DISC assessment, which targets leadership skills. And these self-assessment tools determine personality traits within people. And there's no right or wrong answers. You can use these assessment tools to determine how they look at problems, how they solve them, how they work with people, and how they react to things on the job or react to pressure. Can they work under pressure? So the reality check is information employees receive about how the company evaluates their specific skills and knowledge, and where do they fit in within the company. So this helps employees review what they need to improve on and what will enhance their skills to excel in their current position. And when they receive feedback about skills and knowledge, they can use that to advance within their careers, and it ensures that they are using it as constructive criticism. It's a reality check because it lets people know what their employees think about them overall work ethic or performance. So goal setting is basically identifying goals and the method to determine the goals. This is the process of developing long and short-term career objectives. It's usually discussed with the manager and written into a development plan. So goals are just goals without a plan of action. So when you're setting goals, it's very important to put them into a development plan or action plan so that you know how you are going to achieve them. So it could be set by date or by short term or long term, and then you just pay attention to these things over time, and then you use them to gauge where you're at currently in your career path. So action planning is putting things into action, implementing things. How long would it take you to achieve the goal? Employees determine how they would achieve the goal, whether it's short-term or long-term. You have to benchmark them and write them down, and how would you like to achieve them over time? So moving up in the career ladder, you have a career needs assessment, career opportunities, the need opportunity alignments, and monitoring career moves. So I think that everyone should advocate for themselves at work, at school, and internships. Is basically promoting yourself to other people. So ways to advocate for yourself at work, I think that work best for me as well, is to ask directly for what you want. A lot of us are I know for myself that I was nervous to ask what I wanted within the work environment, because I thought that if I spoke up for myself, that it would put a bad taste in, my manager's mouth, and then I wouldn't, be on their good side. But now from experience, I know that effectively expressing what you want, gets you to better places, because people start to understand, what you need or what your expectations are as an employee, and as a professional. And it's important to keep track of your accomplishments. It can be small accomplishments, but just keep track of those, because when it comes to performance evaluations, you want to be able to show your employer that, you know, this is what I wrote down, this is what I accomplished, this is why I think that I deserve this position or I deserve a raise. Whichever way you're going, it's just good to keep track of your accomplishment. Always share your opinions honestly. Be honest. You don't have to see it as a bad thing to share your opinions. Not all opinions are bad things. It can also help other people. Also negotiating when necessary. So negotiating your pay or negotiating why you should get a job. You know, it's important to know when it's necessary to do so. And my favorite one of all time is finding a mentor at work. Mentors are great. They have the experience. They've been through the ups and downs. They can help you through the process. I would prefer to find a mentor, you know, in the same field as me. It just depends on what you like. You may want a mentor that's the same age as you because they're going through the same thing as you, where some people may want a mentor that's older than them because they have a ton of knowledge and experience. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But I definitely think that finding a mentor at work or at school is the best thing to where you're trying to move forward in your career. So networking to win, getting to know people. When you network consistently, you could celebrate those with people. So even when you find a job and you haven't talked to someone in a long time, you can email and call people. You can also use LinkedIn as a means of networking with people and just checking in with them, you know, quarterly or whenever you want to, so that you could just check in and let them know, like, hey, you know, I'm at this company and I'm at this position and it's going fine. And, you know, I'm looking for a new opportunity, or they can keep you on their radar just in case you're, you know, you stop working for the company and you want to move on to the next level. At least they know that you're doing good at your job as well. So when you're expanding your network, you want to maintain contact. You want to maintain contact with your existing network to strengthen your database. You want to be selective. Choose groups that actually are doing what you envisioned that you would do for your career. And also you want to take on active roles on like different boards or committees. You know, I know that Alfred State have different groups that you can connect with. I would definitely find a group that has the same the same like career path as you or the same interests, so that you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and, you know, network with each other on a daily basis. So finding career management help. This is always important. So you can achieve job and career satisfaction and define and communicate your personal brand, how you would like to be viewed by other people. This can improve your leadership skills and business performance as well, and improve your networking proficiency, both online and in person, and help you prepare for job interviews and performance reviews. So 5 ways to pursue the job that you want is to cultivate a proactive perspective to accelerate your career. You want to practice good goal setting to identify gaps. Adopt the how can I help attitude and stick to your words. So always be willing to help and reach out to people, because people always remember that. You know, that ties back to your soft skills and empathy and your attitude. People remember that a lot. Strive for open communication with team members and managers, and look for ways to help others grow. So this is just my little advice that I wrote. So my advice would be, only you can dictate where your career is going. So take the lead in determining your professional future and be bold in pursuing it. You don't need a specific title to improve yourself, but you also shouldn't expect this extra work to result in immediate pay or recognition. So if things are not working out right now or it's not paying off, just know that it will work out in the long run, and to pace yourself. You're doing these things to advance yourself, and by focusing on long-term goals and measuring yourself towards them, you'll find your passion you'll reap more satisfaction from work and ultimately advance to the next stage. Thank you.
That was awesome, Shavonne.
Thank you.
I was intrigued by when you were talking about finding a mentor. Are there certain, thought it was interesting this, you mentioned sometimes it could be someone at the same level that you're at, you know what I mean, same age and all that. Is there any other traits that you look for? And then you ask someone to be a mentor, right? Like you're like, hey, could you, you know what I mean? So you could talk about like maybe what traits you look for. Like who would you ask? Like what are some good traits of a mentor?
I think good traits of a mentor would be someone who cares about your career growth, someone who shows a lot of empathy, a lot of open line of communication, someone who is very persistent, like never gives up, good at problem solving, takes initiative, forward thinking people, I think are great mentors. People who understand that mistakes are made and that nobody's perfect. And I also think a good trait of a mentor is someone who could help offer guidance in different areas. So if you have questions, they're always willing and open-minded to answer questions. You can sit with them for some coffee and talk to them about what your thoughts are, what you're going through, and they can, give you that good advice. I think that's a very good trait of a mentor.
Bonnie, I love so many of your points. Great. I love you telling everybody about a career fair. That's fantastic.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Is that any better?
It's kind of fading out.
Okay. And I can't chat. I just want to thank you. I think you did a
Have you been a mentor yet, Shavonne? Has anyone approached you yet? Be like to ask for help in any of your professional positions that you've had so far?
Yes, I've one of my mentors were like on the job mentors, so she was at the company for a while, and we just clicked because she came by my desk one day and just said, "Hey, I know you're new," and she just started talking to me, and I just felt like we were just instantly clicked. So it wasn't meant for her to be my mentor, but it was just the relationship and like how we started talking. And she was at the company for a long time, and she went through some of the same challenges that I went through. So I'd have had mentors on the job, and I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Questions for Shavonne, if you want to type them in the chat. Shavonne's also on LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so she's a good connection to have if you're on LinkedIn, and you can connect with her there.
Yes. Any questions, comments? If it's not questions, does anyone have anything to add or?
There's one.
Yes, I have been a mentor. It's kind of funny because I'm 25 years old, so it's like being a mentor, I always feel extremely young, But I know that some people don't. People may not see you as being young. They see like things that you've accomplished, who you are as a person. I do a lot of volunteer work on the side, so yes, I have been a mentor before. And that's why I think that I'm able to obtain certain qualities, because when you have people that you're looking out for and giving advice to, it also helps you grow It definitely does.
You probably feel as though you're giving back, right, Shavonne, when you're helping someone else grow, so to speak. It's got to be satisfying.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. You know, it helps me mature more and think about, you know, who I want to be as a person and what personality traits do I possess, what are my soft skills, how to, you know, reach out more to people. Because once you start mentoring one person, you ultimately get a feeling like, hey, I should help more people, and you always want to pay it forward.
Other comments, questions? Maybe one question. I know that, and this isn't just college students, it's just people in general. Sometimes people they might be like a bit nervous to put themselves out there. You know, the whole networking, you know, talking with new people they don't know. Is there any tips that you've found helpful? And sometimes it can be like just casual conversation with someone you don't know. You know, and I get that question a lot from students in the office, but I don't think it's just students. I think it's across the board. Sometimes people aren't sure what to say, and you know what I mean, that sort of thing. How do you do that? How do you go about engaging conversation and maybe have some tips?
Like you said, making it as casual as possible. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want to go into it like it's like a business advancement. Like, you know, you don't want to sound like a robot either. Like, it's more so, hi, how are you doing? My name is Shavonne. And then you start having casual conversation, and it will also gravitate into, well, what do you do? And you know, you start networking like that. Or you can just grab someone for some coffee and, you know, get more comfortable and just have those conversations, you know, in that manner. It doesn't have to be in a business setting, you know. So I just try to make it as comfortable as possible. You know, an initial conversation is always good before the coffee and sitting down. But if it's just on the fly, like you just need to talk to somebody right then and there, I can understand why you'd be nervous. But I would say just relax and, you know, make it as casual as possible. And then whatever you want to say to that person would just easily just flow out because you've already introduced yourself. You learned if this person, you know, works at this place, what they like to do. You talked about the weather. Hey, the weather's nice outside. You know, just things of that sort, just to kind of bring your nerves down when you're networking and talking to people.
Yeah, I remember when you were in the office, we used to talk about fashion and food quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like what was going on in the fashion world and things like that. So this has been awesome. Other questions, comments in the chat? I really want to thank Shavonne for taking the time to be here with us again today. She did an awesome job.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah, she's here to help you connect and to connect with you directly. So
yes.
Reach out to her on LinkedIn, and I know she will be of help to anyone on here. So I want to thank you again, Shavonne.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for sitting here and listening to me talk. I know it's later in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and I wish you all successes in, you know, the rest of your college term, your careers. I know that if you guys are Alfred State alum, that you all would be successful and do well. You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for being on here today. We do have this recorded, so it will be available at a later time as well.
Okay. You guys have a good evening.
Thanks, you too. Have a great week.
You too. Bye.